This is the 2024 Range Rover Evoque Dynamic SE. Is it worth your consideration? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Land Rover of Shreveport, and we're gonna go over the particulars on this model. Maybe you're that person that's saying, yeah, I really am interested in a subcompact luxury SUV. I don't need something as big as a Defender or a Range Rover Sport. This is a great option for you, and you might be surprised at some of the features and functionality you get here, not only for the price, but being that it is the smallest model available from Range Rover right now from Land Rover, well, you still get the same features you can get on the Range Rover Sport and other models. As always, there's a link in the description of the video if you want to know more. We're gonna have LED headlights, signature daytime running lights. That flickering effect has to do with my camera. It's not really happening. Sometimes people ask, how do you make the lights do that? Well, you don't, other than looking through the lens of a GoPro. And something else that I know a lot of you like to see down here, we're gonna have the fog lights on the lower portion of the bumper. Obviously, all of your sensors, parking sensors and all that good stuff is going to be here. And I think, hopefully you can see the daylight through there. You have your active air curtain in this area to help improve aerodynamics. Nice to know that that is active. Other than that, there's really not a lot of active vents here. I mean, you have your upper and your lower grills here, but you don't have active vents where it seems like there should be one here and maybe something here. But one thing I will say about that helps is that it does look nice and it definitely breaks things up. There would just be too much white here otherwise. This model will come all-wheel drive. Let's talk about the tire and wheel size in case you're curious. We're gonna have 235 on the width, a 50 series sidewall, and in this case, the optional 20-inch wheels. I'm sure somebody is gonna probably jump in the comments and say they're 19-inch wheels. They would be unless you go for that upgrade. And as we look at the side view mirrors, we're gonna have our turn signal indicators built in. I don't have them turned on right now, but they are there. They're power adjustable. They're also power folding. And just so you can see that, I turned the engine off, the ignition off, just so I could show you this. The reason I had that running earlier, so we could show you the lights on the exterior of the vehicle turned on, especially there on the front end. And here is your remote. Nothing new for 2024, but that's what you have. Plenty of features to take care of everything. And when you lock the vehicle, not only do those side view mirrors fold in, but you will have your deployable handles on your doors that will go back in to their place right there when you unlock the vehicle, which you can do a number of different ways, not only with the remote, but you can also walk up when you have the remote on your person and push that button that you see right there. And it's not only on the front doors, it's also on the rear. Maybe you've started a family, you have some little ones that are in car seats. This is where you're coming first. The good news is you can unlock all 4 doors from this rear door or from the front, depending on what you need to do. And the nice contrast with the black, in a few different areas, it works. I think chrome would be out of place on this particular model, but the black looks nice, it looks right, it works. And a nice large rear roof spoiler, or what some manufacturers call a tailgate spoiler, it just seems to fit here. Not too big, not too small, it's just the right size. And you'll notice you have a clean look here on the rear window. You do have a rear window wiper. It's just concealed away right up here inside of the rear spoiler, the roof spoiler right there. And we'll finish things off here with our Range Rover logo, tail lights, a very clean look back here, that's for sure. Under the hood is the singular engine offering for the Evoque. It's a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that puts out 246 horsepower and 269 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And how about the MPGs that you're going to find with this model? This is what the sticker says: 20 city, 27 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Let's take a look over here. You're gonna have an actual gas cap. This is nothing out of the ordinary for Land Rover, but that's what you have. And if you're curious to know, this is a 17.7 gallon gas tank. Towing capacity comes in at a rather impressive for a subcompact SUV, 4,000 pounds. And power tailgate, and that reveals 21.4 to 50.5 cubic feet of cargo capacity. You will find a 12-volt power outlet back here. We've got the hangers right here for whatever will fit on those. and obviously they will support. You'll also find a couple of ways to configure the seats as far as what you can do. I'll show you that second way in just a second. And underneath the floor right here is something that I know a lot of you like, and that is going to be a spare tire. And when it comes to multiple configurations, you can fold down one or both sides of the seats, or you can just fold down that center section right there and have a pass-through. And by the way, in case anybody is wondering, yes, that cargo cover is easily removable. And let's talk about what your rear seat passengers will find. There is a lot of room here with the armrest. The only thing I would rather see instead of this angle right here would be the area to be completely flat. It just seems to be more comfortable that way. At least that's my thought on it. Someone might say the opposite of that. Here's your door bin or bottle holder, probably more of a bottle holder than a door bin. And the fold down armrest right here with the cup holders built in. By the way, there is a panoramic sunroof. The shade is not drawn all the way back, but obviously it goes further back. That area at the front does tilt and slide open. We're also going to find some rear seat pockets, a little bit of storage opportunity there. Options as far as that goes. We'll find air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console, and then on the bottom down there, a couple of USB options and a 12-volt power outlet right down here. And just so you know, I wasn't pulling your chain, that shade does go all the way back, as you can see, and you control all of that right here. Here's how you bring the shade back up, which I'm going to push that button to do that. It is power. You just push the button one time, and well, the vehicle basically takes care of everything else for you. And obviously you can control the position of the sunroof itself right here. For those of you who made it to this point in the video, what is the sticker price? $61,875. Let's see what else you get for the price. I likely don't need to tell you too much about what's going on over here with the driver's side door. You do have seat memory right down here, a couple of different settings for that, so that's always nice to have. And by the way, something I didn't talk about earlier, I don't know how well it's showing up on the screen, but you do have that little orange dot right there in the side view mirror. That's going to be in both mirrors. That is your blind spot monitoring. You control your headlights and fog lights, everything there, including your turn signal indicator, so you can let people around you know what you're doing. And you control your front and rear window wipers right there. And here are your steering wheel mounted controls. I probably don't need to tell you too much about what is there. The paddle shifters right here allow you to work your way back and forth through the 9-speed automatic transmission. And I like the fact that you have the option to put navigation on the instrument cluster right here. Everything is digital, easy to deal with. You still have your digital speedometer up there, and you can see that we're in park right now. If I go into drive, you're going to see that change to a D. Pretty easy to deal with, pretty easy to figure out. And your button right here to start and stop the engine. And this is the 11.4-inch Pivi Pro touchscreen. Again, the same thing you have in all the other Land Rover and Range Rover models. Pretty simplistic. It may look complicated, but it's really not. Navigation built in. If you want to use that, you can pair your smartphone wirelessly if you want to and use apps from your smartphone. You can see Connect Phone right there. That's easy to deal with. I probably don't need to even show that to you. And I like what we have right here. In fact, let me do this. If I turn the steering wheel and have the front wheels pointed to the left, in this case, it could still look like the front wheels are pointed straight based on where the steering wheel is positioned. However, you can see on the screen that they're not. And that could come in handy if you were in an off-road situation. But this model does have some above average for a subcompact SUV off-road capabilities. That's for sure, compared to a lot of other models out there. Or maybe you're dealing with a situation where you've got some flooding and you're driving within what the vehicle can handle. You still need to see which direction the wheels are pointed. That can come in handy in a lot of situations. And you can see the different angles you've got right here. You can see the altitude. Yes, we are at 171 feet above sea level right now. That's actually pretty good if you're trying to make horsepower, believe it or not. Most of you probably have no clue about what that actually means, so don't worry about it. But let's go into our driving modes right here. So you can see that we have comfort. You can go to auto and let the vehicle select for you grass, gravel, and snow, mud and ruts, and sand. If you want to turn the auto stop start feature on or off, there's how you're going to do that. Your hill start assist, traction control, everything is right there. Really a simplistic system to deal with. If you need to take advantage of a compass, well, you've got one built in right here, as you can see on the center of the screen. And how about our camera views? Well, we have a couple to look at here. And if you want to change to a little bit of a different angle, you can do that simply by selecting the right option right back here. So that works out pretty well, easy to deal with. And then we can go back over here. Obviously, you can go into settings and make a lot of changes depending on what you need to do. You can even turn the screen off if you want to. Auto theme, the auto stop start system also right there. And auto hold, if you want to turn that off or on, brake hold mode basically, well, there is how you do that. Home screen, we'll go right here. You can edit the layout. You can obviously go in and do things with audio as far as tuning the audio, tuning the radio, and then several other features right here. Now, one thing that I know I don't think I would be a big fan of if I owned any kind of a Land Rover or a Range Rover right now is the fact that you don't have any physical buttons on these newer models. Other than the shifter right there and the button right there to go into park, that's basically all you have. You have to go into the infotainment screen to manage the air conditioning and your heated seats and all of that. And there's likely some people out there who like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like the shifter because it fits so snugly in the palm of my hand. And we do have wireless charging right here. There is a USB port up there. Here are your bottle holders, cup holders, and you can open one or both sides of this center console. There is another USB option down there and some space for storage within. By the way, speaking of storage, well, you have a little bit more here with the glove box. Probably kind of hard to see in there just because it's a little dark in there. Both seats are power adjustable and are pretty comfortable from my experience. Speaking of comfort, let's get out on the road and see how comfortable it is to drive this Evoque. And as we get out on the road for our test drive, I did want to share one thing with you that I forgot to share earlier in the video, and that is the fact that you have a power adjustable tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. The control for that is over here on the right-hand side of the steering column. Surprisingly, for a small SUV that has a short wheelbase, the ride quality is pretty good. The seats themselves seem to be comfortable, and so those two complement each other rather well. That's always a good thing. And one thing that it's hard to show because I can't really give you the perfect angle, I don't think I could at least, with this rear view mirror, which is auto dimming by the way, and so is the driver's side mirror over here. But you might wonder about that small rear window back there. It is rather narrow, but honestly, I'm not having any trouble seeing out of that, so that's obviously a useful thing to know about. You know, get in here and drive an Evoque. If you're looking to buy one, go ahead and go to your local Land Rover dealership and drive one. That's the best way to really know about all of these things, especially for yourself, depending on how you want to drive and how you may position the driver's seat and all those things. And as far as acceleration goes, it doesn't seem to be a problem. It seems to get down the road just fine for what it is. It's not necessarily meant to do so in a quick manner, but it does it in a sufficient manner. That's probably the best way I can describe that. And overall seeing, no big deal. The side view mirrors are actually a little on the large size for this size of SUV based on some of what I've seen with other vehicles. So that's always beneficial to have larger side view mirrors available on any vehicle. It just makes things so much easier. And if you haven't ever had that experience where the mirrors are really small, you probably won't know what I'm talking about. But when you do have that experience, you instantly think about it and realize, wow, I didn't realize that would make such a difference. But it does make quite the difference. Overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive, quite a bit of space for this size of SUV. So depending on who you are and what you need, it can definitely get the job done. You have a reasonable amount of cargo space back there, and you can even do a little bit of towing, more than most competitors. So there's a lot going on here that is definitely very beneficial. One thing that I also forgot to mention as I look down at the steering wheel, something I definitely don't need right now, and that is the fact that there is a heated steering wheel. So a lot of benefits, a lot of features, a lot going on here. A very nice vehicle. If it's something you're looking for, it does have that luxurious Land Rover feel to it. Good thing is, while this isn't exactly a low price point vehicle, it's still fairly inexpensive considering what it is and what it offers. Okay, it's your turn to tell me what you think about the 2024 Range Rover Evoque Dynamic SE. Is it worth your consideration? Tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments section. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning me this Evoque for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.